Welcome to New World Order. This week, Boris Johnson gave a special coronavirus briefing, looking like something you'd find strapped to the front grille of a bin lorry. He's also now slightly hunched from a lifetime of being crammed into married women's wardrobes like a randy jack-in-the-box. Basically, the government's priority seems to be to keep pubs open no matter what, presumably because the pandemic strategy makes a lot more sense when you're pissed. Coronavirus has surprised us all in a lot of ways. For example, this was pretty low on the list of viruses that I thought would cancel Love Island. Tony Blair, looking like a guilty monkey, called Johnson's attempts to circumvent his own Brexit agreement immoral. Then again, a lecture on morality from Blair is a bit like being pulled up on your halitosis by a talking arsehole. Elsewhere, the United States is gearing up for an election to decide which senile sex pest they want to put in charge of bombing brown people for the next 4 years, a period greater than their combined life expectancy. Will it be the ghost of a folksy plantation owner or a statue of a yeti carved out of tinned ham by a short-sighted Nazi? Joe Biden, with the energy levels of your phone at Glastonbury, is now so close to the bright light you see when you die that he's actually squinting, while Donald Trump seems to have evolved a high-vis face as a desperate attempt by his dying body to help a sniper pull off a headshot. Okay, let's get on with the show. Joining me tonight to discuss the week's big topics are Sarah Pascoe, Miles Jupp and Kerry Pritchard McLean.
Hi guys. This is like clapping at the beginning of a dinner party.
Which I always insist on.
Kerry, what have you been up to this week?
Well, I've been taking a keen eye and examining the new COVID rules. So now you can't meet up in groups of more than 6 from different households. But in Wales, you can have up to 30 people outside and you can go grouse shooting. It just means that our local orgies, we're going to carry guns.
You can always be looking for a grouse.
Yes.
I mean, you don't even have to have a gun. You'd be like, no, I'm a hand hunter.
Who are these people that turn folk in?
The government has sort of broadly encouraged people to shop your neighbours, because after like Brexit, the election we've had in a global pandemic, what we really need to bring people together is knowing that your neighbours are grass.
I think you could just go out your back door and come in a variety of disguises until your neighbour, the grass, phoned up and you can just go, there's no one here, officer, just me and my hat collection.
There's nothing sinister about owning a lot of wigs, officer.
So, our first motion this week, Ghislaine Maxwell didn't kill herself. Is everyone in our elites involved in a sinister cabal of Satan-worshipping paedophiles who rule the world? Of course not. Some worship Panthantalops, Dark Lord of never-ending torment. Ghislaine Maxwell has said that she wasn't some Cruella de Vil. It's actually worse than that. Cruella de Vil was never accused of fucking the puppies. Ghislaine Maxwell worked for Jeffrey Epstein, who in many ways was just obeying the standard procedures of high finance by storing his children offshore. Epstein's Island sounds like it should be a ride at Disneyland, perhaps one where there's a maximum height to get on. It's expected that Maxwell will be given a life sentence of about 4 weeks. The cameras outside her cell are currently being checked and rechecked to make absolutely sure that they're not working. Have you followed this story?
Yes, I'm really, I don't want to say into it, but I'm absolutely fascinated. I think there is something about the cross-section of extreme power and this level of exploitation.
It shows that these extremes of human behaviour, one of them is the cruelty and the lack of empathy, but then the other side is an amount of wealth, which means you are more powerful than every organisation that could police that behaviour.
Yeah.
I think there is that thing, someone like Epstein, and that amount of power that he had. There's people, say there's the Black Book, so there's people whose names and addresses he has. Now, I mean, they could be there for, for any reason. That doesn't necessarily make them guilty. That's for whatever reason he has it's their thing. But then,
Okay, someone's name and address on their Miles.
Yeah.
But in terms of what you were saying about the kind of the wealth of being carried along with it and like being in the address book, the reason Epstein was protected so long is there were so many people complicit.
I wonder what's been happening with her though, because she disappeared for ages. So, then they eventually get her.
how can someone escape for that long?
They knew where she was. They always knew where she was. It just wasn't in public knowledge.
I mean, when you watch footage of her, she just comes across as a deeply talentless person who's said to herself, well, what can I do? Luring. I'm quite good at luring people. Did Epstein essentially make the mistake of starting a huge paedophilia operation without becoming a religion? because that's how you really get it to run for like 100 years.
And there's tax breaks.
Yeah. For decades, the billionaire Jeffrey Epstein was the permatanned embodiment of the American dream. He led a fairy tale lifestyle, hobnobbing and sometimes just nobbing with the rich and powerful, before topping it all by committing the world's least convincing suicide. Before he was exposed, Epstein's glitzy existence was celebrated in this bombastic, fast-cut piece from 2007.
He has a Boeing 727. I'm just wondering now, what do you need a commercial-size airliner for?
Believe us, it comes in handy when you've got powerful friends to fly around. When Bill Clinton organized a week-long tour of Africa in 2002, Jeff gave him a ride in his personal 727 and took actors Kevin Spacey and Chris Tucker along for the trip. Jeff was a high school math teacher until he traded his blackboard for the big board in 1976, eventually launching his own exclusive finance firm for billionaire clients. But he just couldn't keep out of the classroom. So when he was shopping for a new house, he bought himself an entire schoolhouse.
It's the high school maths teacher thing that really, I mean, that is what happens when you give those people power.
It's really taken the heat off PE teachers for a while, isn't it? And every part of it feels incredibly incriminating. Like when a journalist is like sassily going, what could he need a luxury jet for? And then you can just go, being a paedophile, after like everything that gets said on it. It's so weird.
Do you reckon there's anyone on those flights who was just trying to watch a movie? And they kept getting their drink knocked out of their hand by like Bill Clinton's cock or something. I'm trying to watch an old episode of the Catherine Tate show. Anyway, the pre-trial suicide of a narcissistic paedophile billionaire who procured underage rape victims for powerful public figures seemed to some a little too convenient to be true. Most of the major news channels stuck to the official story, but sometimes an alternative view crept in, as we can see in this cosy interview on Fox News.
So thank you and thank Nero for your service. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. If I could I throw a PSA out real quick?
Real quick.
Just the remarkable nature of these dogs and them being highlighted in the news creates a huge demand by people that frankly shouldn't have them. If you see the coverage and you decide I want one of these dogs, either buy a finished trained, fully trained and finished dog from a professional, or just don't get one at all. And Epstein didn't kill himself.
All right. Okay.
Part of what gets me about that is that people are buying military attack dogs. Yeah, I want a dog where I can't do anything sudden or say any words that sound a bit Arabic.
The dog is sort of looking away like it's not invested in what he's saying at all.
I think his owner constantly embarrasses him. It's a real absolute head in paws sort of moment.
That news anchor just took it like a pro, man. Those guys, man, they're just like the face of the machine.
It's become so this is the first incidence of it, but then it became like a massive internet meme, and some people even now have it on their dating profiles. It has in the end, it's like, don't even reply if you don't agree that Epstein didn't kill himself, because the joke is it has to be incongruous. So like you would put it in like your wedding vows. Just situations like that, we just slip it in with exactly the same tone of voice.
That's why she said that when I was having my smear test. She's like, oh, and Epstein didn't kill himself. Okay.
Yeah, this looks fine.
Epstein's right-hand madam, Ghislaine Maxwell, is currently at a federal detention centre in New York. The fact that she's in custody has been brought to the attention of some of her former friends, as we can see in this awkward White House press conference.
Ghislaine Maxwell is in prison, and so a lot of people want to know if she's going to turn in powerful people. I know you've talked in the past about Prince Andrew, and you've criticized Bill Clinton's behavior.
I don't know. I haven't really been following it too much. I just wish her well, frankly. I've met her numerous times over the years, especially since I lived in Palm Beach, and I guess they lived in Palm Beach. But I wish her well, whatever it is. I don't know the situation with Prince Andrew. Just don't know. I'm not aware of it.
He has to say, I've met her loads of times because there's so many photographs of them together.
It's the wish her well bit I find difficult, because he's happy to speculate when an unarmed black man gets shot to death. If it's a rich white woman, that he'll suddenly be sort of chivalrous, or like, I couldn't possibly be drawn on it.
But that could be a mafia style thing, couldn't it? Wish her well could be. That's the hug and the nod. Yeah.
Palm Beach must be like, can you stop mentioning us, please? It's all so wrong and bizarre and scary that I can kind of see why people go for other conspiracy theories, because this feels so wild. I can see why you wouldn't believe in anything.
Now, after rubbing shoulders with some of paedophilia's all-star team, Ghislaine Maxwell set her sights on an even grander ambition, founding her own global ocean community called Terra Mar. Here she is explaining the ideas behind her mad project in a polished appearance on CNN.
The high seas make up 47% of our planet, but they are the least explored and least governed part of it. A British businesswoman is hoping to change the status quo by turning the oceans into an online country. You've basically staked a claim to the high seas and you've called them Terra Mar. How are you able to do that?
Well, first of all, it does belong to everybody, and up until now, there hasn't been a defined area around it that everyone can sort of recognise. The high seas alone, it's an area that has some laws, inconsistent laws, areas where there are no laws and conflicting laws. We're trying to build a standing community for the ocean, for the commons, for our future. The Law of the Sea Convention states that the seabed area belongs to us.
It's an odd thing, isn't it? That you suddenly have the narcissism within you to go, well, I'll sort of speak for the oceans.
Yeah, it starts sounding reasonable. We're all sort of looking after the seas and the oceans, and then she's like, but just so you know, there are parts of the sea where there's no laws. And you're like, oh, this is what it's about. And I love her, like, technically the whole seabed is everybody's. It's like, yeah, good luck when you're talking to Somali pirates about that stuff.
It's also, if you wanted a sort of bright, jolly name for something, Terra Mar, you sort of don't want it to sound like it's a sort of a land of nightmarish peace.
One of Ghislaine Maxwell's oldest and dearest friends is her very own Prince Andrew, and it was Maxwell who introduced Andrew to Jeffrey Epstein. Much of the media has been treading lightly around Prince Andrew's involvement in the scandal, although one exception was an awkward mix-up in the video department at Sky News.
It's 8 o'clock. This is Sky News Tonight. I'm Dermot Monahan. The top story, we have actual evidence Madeleine McCann is dead. German prosecutors reveal more on their investigation into the suspect, Christian B. We'll bring you the latest on the investigation throughout the programme.
Dermot Monahan there was like, is that enough to get me killed?
I think his reputation is so heavily tarnished now that you can...
Monahan. After what he did to Prince Andrew.
Prince Andrew, you could put his face up and just anything underneath. It'd be like, the real Jack the Ripper's found. You'd be like, yeah, Millennium Bug, who shot Mr. Burns. I'd be like, yeah, he did it all. Andrew.
Guess who ate the fucking bat?
So, in conclusion, there is some good news for Ghislaine Maxwell. Her chances of catching COVID-19 in jail will be greatly reduced by the fact that the guy strangling her will be wearing a mask and gloves. And I think it'll be a nice twist if Ghislaine recognises the chap sent to suicide her as a man she'd hired a few times to get rid of girls off the side of a yacht. Mikhail, is that you? I haven't seen you in ages. Of course, the Illuminati have always been with us, and this kind of thing has happened throughout history. The Great Fire of London was pretty much a clean-up operation. But it's a messy business that attracts attention, which is why so much of the elite's resources have been going into developing sex androids. These are now almost perfect replicas of humans, and maybe just weeks away from the breakthrough that will make them attractive to our rulers when they develop the ability to suffer. They're currently undergoing final tests in Mark Zuckerberg's fuckatorium. Steve Jobs didn't die of cancer. He was ridden to death by a Samsung fuckbot that had been hacked by Bill Gates, his pelvis snapping like dry pasta as it straddled him till its bucking titanium hip joints glowed as bright as brake lights.
Would anyone like some coffee?